Hey, today I want to share with you a moment that changed my life forever. And it was the moment where I made myself homeless to support my mom and to give her the best support. Now, before you think, what? Like you made yourself homeless to support your mom? How does that work? Before you think that, let me give you some background. As you might know, my parents got divorced when I was 14 years old. And it was a very nasty divorce. And I became a rebel at that time. I was out as much as possible. I didn't have a good relationship with my parents. As soon as I could, I left home when I was 18. And then when I was 20, I received an offer to work here in the UK and said, okay, no, that's enough. I'm just going to leave Italy and I'm going to create a new life. Now, that had consequences because I left a situation in Italy where I knew my mom needed my help. When I knew that my brother needed my help, but I couldn't stay there anymore. I had this desire of escaping from all that nastiness and all the divorce things that was there, and I didn't even know how to deal with because I was trying to please everyone and to make everyone happy, and as a process, I was becoming miserable being there. And so this is what for that choice, my mom then got really upset and stopped talking to me for almost like 2.5 to 3 years. But things changed then when I was 22. Because at 22, I made a decision. And the decision I made was that I was going to quit my job and focus for 6 months on completing my coaching qualification. Because I had the desire to become a life coach. So I enrolled in doing a course for life coaching and youth coaching. I paid for those courses and I said, you know what? I got some money aside. Let me focus for the 6 months on these courses that I'm doing. Now, at the same time, my grandfather, which was her dad, died, and they were really close. My mom and their father were really close, and she was there in Italy on her own, going through the divorce, going through all this situation with my brother that had behavioral issues, and on top of that, her father died. So when I knew that, I said, no, I got to do something about this. Like, it doesn't sit well for me to be here, living my life, going through my qualifications. And also, I've learned so much about personal development for that year that I said, if I don't put this in practice and do something with it, I'm going to regret this for the rest of my life. So what I decided to do, I looked at my bank account and I realized that I had enough money to go back to Italy and come back to London twice in a month. So I was leaving 2 weeks in Italy and 2 weeks in the UK. When I was in Italy, I was staying with my mom. But when I was in the UK, for the budget that I had, I didn't have any money to pay for accommodation. I had some money for food, I had some money to go through my courses, but I actually didn't have money if I didn't want to have a job and then keep doing that to pay for an accommodation. So this is what I did. When I was in Italy, I was staying with my mom. And when I was in the UK, I was sleeping in parks. I was spending a lot of time actually inside of Costa Coffee, inside King's Cross St. Pancras, which was open 24 hours and allowed me to stay there. I was working through my studies during the night. I was going through my assignments. I was working and learning not only English to speak properly to become a coach, but as well as going through all the courses and qualification and make sure that my assignments were delivered on time. And that period changed my life completely. Not only because I rebuilt the relationship that I had with my mom in that moment where she needed the most. I was there 2 weeks every month. I was there to build the relationship. But also give me the confidence that I don't need much to live on. I was living on very, very little, sometimes even £5 a week. And now, when you have the confidence that you don't need anything to live on, that you just need very little, then the sky becomes the limit. Like your needs and your attachment to things, they become very little. And on top of that, it gave me the confidence of the commitment that I had. Because to make such a choice, to make a choice like this, I went all in. I absolutely went all in. And what that meant to me was like, how far am I willing to go to make this work? And that's what was a game changer. I think that experience shaped my life forever, shaped the way I am. And that sign of commitment of, you know what, I'm committed to my family as much as I'm committed to my future. and to my work and to the business and the dreams that I have, then it was an experience that shaped my life. So that's actually the background of the story of how I made myself homeless. And it was actually in the middle of the winter, so it was very cold. It was very cold during the night outside. But fortunately, I always had people that sometimes were inviting me home, getting them to have a shower, or the beautiful people that allowed me to stay in that Costa Coffee. And in that moment, I got the confidence, the belief, and I got what I needed to make this work, and as well to build the relationship with my mom when she needed the most, and give her the support when she needed the most. So I've been invited to share, been asked to share this story. I don't always talk openly about it because it's something that I keep private, something that I've done. I haven't done for anyone else. I've done it for my mom. I've done it for myself. But I know that there are some people that made incredible sacrifices. I know that you might be watching this and you might have made big sacrifices to be where you are. Sacrifice the relationship with your family, sacrifice the relationship with yourself, sacrifice the things that you really loved and you had to let go to make decisions that allowed you to be where you are today. And I respect that. And I think that I wanted to share it because it becomes a way to honor and to acknowledge the sacrifices that we all make, that we don't talk about publicly because maybe it's not just the place for it, to be where we are. So thank you very much for watching. I would love to hear your comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what sacrifices have you made that made a difference in your life, that allowed you to be where you're at. And at the moment, yes, it was tough, but you know it was the right decision. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and always remember that together we grow exponentially. Ciao.